I put my RDS environment behind a remote desktop gateway. It's secure, right? Wrong.
So today I want to clear up a misconception I see a lot on the internet, namely that if you put your RDS deployment behind a remote desktop gateway, it's more or less secure. Sadly, this could not be further from the truth. Furthermore, with remote desktop gateway increasingly serving as a gatekeeper for internal IT systems in the teleworking era, you definitely need to know how to secure it properly. Admittedly, placing your RDS servers behind a remote desktop gateway is much better than just leaving them directly connected to the internet with port 3389 wide open. In that scenario, attackers can use tools like Hydra and Crowbar to do dictionary attacks against your servers until they find a weak username and password combo. What folks don't seem to understand is that remote desktop gateways are also vulnerable to dictionary attacks. As recently as 2018, a module that targets remote desktop gateways was released for Patator, which is a multi-purpose brute force and dictionary attack tool. At its core, the remote desktop gateway is basically an HTTPS proxy for RDP with additional support for UDP transmission channels. Patator's remote desktop gateway module understands this, and by doing HTTP authorizations with the PyCurl library, it can run through username and password combos rapidly, as you can see in this video. And with the advent of banner scraping search engines like Shodan, it's trivially easy for an attacker to find the address of your gateway, since most organizations running remote desktop gateway have the RD Web Access module running on the same server. Other weak aspects of remote desktop gateway security are its default cap and wrap policies. By default, everything is wide open, meaning if you install a remote desktop gateway, by default, any domain user will be able to connect through the gateway and access any system inside the network. One of the first things you must do after deploying a remote desktop gateway is lock down the cap and wrap policies so that only specific users in the domain can access the RDS-related servers only, or specific workstations if you are using the RD gateway as a bridge to internal workstations or virtual desktops for telework. So, how do you better secure your remote desktop gateways? The first thing I'd do is install an MFA solution that has direct support for your gateways via push notifications when a gateway authentication is taking place. The two most popular solutions for RD Gateway that I'm aware of are Cisco Duo and the NPS extension for Azure Active Directory MFA. When enabled, these solutions require a secondary confirmation during the RD Gateway login via use of a mobile app or via a phone call. Now, there are additional MFA solutions for remote desktop, but most of these only protect the session hosts, not the remote desktop gateway. In other words, authentication through the RD gateway remains a simple username-password combo, and the MFA doesn't kick in until the user has connected to the remote desktop session host, at which point the MFA challenge is launched. As a result, this increases the vulnerability of the organization for several reasons. The first reason is that as an attacker, I can still run dictionary attacks against the gateway unimpeded using a tool like Patator. In this manner, I can glean valid credential combos just by banging on your gateway. And if you've not properly secured your RD gateway caps and wraps, I can construct my own RDP file in an attempt to connect directly to other internal systems via RDP that are not protected by MFA, since they are outside your main RDS environment. Moreover, once I have valid domain user credentials, any other service or application that your organization runs which is not secured by MFA, I can now target successfully using breach replay attacks with those valid credentials against those secondary services. So, to summarize, here are 3 key things you should do to better secure Remote Desktop Gateway if you use it in your environment. 1. Implement an MFA solution designed specifically for the RD gateway, such as Cisco Duo or the NPS extension for Azure AD MFA. 2. If you use an MFA solution that only works on the remote desktop session hosts, make sure that you monitor both failed and successful authentications taking place on the remote desktop gateway, preferably with the ability to geolocate IP addresses. The Remote Desktop Commander Suite product we sell has that capability, by the way. Also, make sure that you have MFA enabled on all other external services and apps which your users access with their Active Directory credentials. 3. In all scenarios, make sure you lock down your Remote Desktop Gateway caps and wraps to both limit who can authenticate through the Remote Desktop Gateway and the systems they can access over RDP inside your internal network.
Hi there. If you'd like me to make more of this content, please do one of the following. First, like this video and click the notification bell below to subscribe to the RDP Hard channel. Second, download my company's free Remote Desktop Commander Lite tool to help you manage sessions on your RDS and AVD farms. It's more powerful and much faster than the built-in RDS Manager. Third, consider purchasing my RDP Own book on how to secure your RDS environments. It's only $9.99 on Amazon Kindle. Fourth, start a subscription to one or more of my company's commercial RDS and AVT monitoring and management tools. We offer very affordable monthly subscriptions you can use for as little or as long as you need. I think you'll find we deliver more value than just about any other RDS monitoring tool in the marketplace. Thank you. See you on my next video.